If you sell water dispensers to end customers, then you know how hard it is nowadays to get noticed and convince the end customer. Because everyone says the same things. The purest water, save on bottles, it's an eco-friendly product, a green product weighs the same things. But if everyone says the same things to promote water dispensers, then no one stands out. So in this video, I want to explain how you can position your water dispensers in a unique way, using a strategy called attribute ownership. Let's start from the beginning. An attribute is a distinctive characteristic, and so it could be, for example, the aesthetic aspect like elegant design, the functional aspect of the dispenser, such as being quiet or easy to use, or the experiential aspect of the dispenser, like a sense of well-being or the experience of daily comfort. So every water dispenser has many attributes, but what really matters is what is the one attribute for which your customers immediately recognize you? Because this is what you need to own in the minds of your customers. And one of the most common mistakes is exactly this, saying, okay, that competitor sells dispensers by saying these things, so I'll say those things too. This is a very common mistake, but let's take the example of a classic toothpaste brand called Crest. If Crest toothpaste is already known as the toothpaste against cavities, you can't beat it by talking about cavities again. Instead, you need to choose another attribute, maybe an opposite one, or at least a more specific attribute. So if everyone says that water dispensers provide purer water, if everyone talks about purity, then it's as if this concept has already been claimed by the two competitors in the minds of customers. Imagine this. So you need to move towards something more specific, something that resonates more with your target audience, your customers, something that hasn't yet been claimed by the competition. So I'll mention something just for illustrative purposes. But an attribute could be quietness. So maybe you have the quietest dispensers of all, which could be a valid point. Or another attribute could be minimalist design or modern design if your dispensers have a modern look. Another attribute could be smart control if you have water dispensers that can connect to an app, in short, allowing you to control the purifier from your phone's application. Or an attribute could be experience and well-being if one of your, let's say, target markets is beauty centers or gyms. Or another attribute you can use is everything related to green and sustainability. If your market, let's say, is made up of companies or offices that care about these kinds of topics. So the idea, aside from these examples, is to choose one attribute, focus on that attribute, and keep your communication consistently centered on it, because you need to become the go-to reference for that attribute. Now, what's important to understand is that if one of your competitors is perceived as affordable, you could then focus on the opposite attribute, exclusive, premium, tailor-made, not for everyone, right? So for example, you could consistently communicate that your water dispensers are not for everyone, but for those with certain tastes. So you could communicate that you're not the cheapest because you're the most advanced and things like that. But be careful, be careful. What doesn't work, in other words? The mistake you shouldn't make is choosing a similar attribute, because a similar attribute doesn't work, whereas the opposite attribute does. The great thing is that if you own just one attribute in the customer's mind, obviously, regarding your water dispensers, they will tend to give you all the other attributes as well. Let's look at an example just to understand this. If they perceive you as the one who offers the safest water dispensers because they're the most reliable, your end customer will also associate you in their mind with attributes like, okay, more reliable, but also more durable and also more professional. So this is the halo effect, and it can make a difference for a product because it can determine whether that product is ignored or chosen. So how can you find your own attribute for the water dispensers you currently have in your catalog? You can ask yourself a few simple questions. First of all, you can ask yourself, in what way are my water dispensers truly different from the average? What do your customers appreciate most when they use your water dispensers? And what is the one thing that only you can say? What is the type of communication that your competitors can't copy from you? Start here. Start by answering these questions and build all your communication around this attribute, and therefore around your water purifiers, around your rental services. So if you really want to stand out in an increasingly crowded market, stop trying to say everything to everyone and try to find your specific attribute regarding your water dispenser. Own it and keep communicating about that attribute. You need to become the go-to reference for that specific thing And you see that customers will stop comparing you to others because they no longer have any basis for comparison. They'll seek you out precisely for that specific reason, which you have deliberately crafted. I strongly recommend you follow this channel to receive more videos like this one and even more powerful ones. So how do you do it? Click the subscribe button below, hit the bell icon, turn on notifications, and don't miss a single video like this.